Welcome back to another video from Veg Grower Podcast. I've got a clip to show you. I did record a couple of clips, but I'm saving the second one for next week, and that's actually going to be tool maintenance and some of the tools I've done. You probably can't see actually down the back here, just a bit filling some time. But the two together they were really long videos, so I've decided I'll do this one this week and follow up with that one next week. So this one, I tidied the rhubarb and asparagus bed down the allotment, so I'll put that up now, and then I'll come back and clear up a few comments that I've had recently. Okay, well, good morning everyone. You've joined me down the allotment here today, and quite a nice bright sunny day, and I've decided rhubarb's obviously gone back, so I'm going to give that a quick tidy up and then move on to the asparagus bed. So yeah, we'll crack on with that now. So yeah, with these rhubarb, as they've all pretty much died back, so the leaves and these few weeds can just come out, leaving the crowns to look a bit tidier. I would imagine leaves like that would also cause, excuse me, problems with harbouring disease and stuff. So anyway, so let's pull this back and just make it a bit tidier. There's one. That was the Timperley early, so they should be ready to eat soon, those ones. These rhubarb went in last year, and so they this year they weren't able to be eaten. Or I say this year, 2016 these were planted anyway. So I couldn't really eat any of these. But 2017 these will be ready, and I'm quite looking forward to it, because I've got these three here, and I've got two more in a rhubarb bed at home, and I've got one in a pot as well. So I'm going to have plenty of rhubarb. Keep me going. I did this year I did make some rhubarb chutney, which is actually really nice. So I'll be doing some of that again. Rhubarb crumble. Oh, this can just go on actually. Rhubarb crumble, I might try a bit of that. Rhubarb jam, and so on. Anyway, so that's the rhubarb bed done. So let's just adjust the camera onto the asparagus bed, which is that one over there. I'll zoom in a bit. Get a bit of a shadow from me, I'm afraid, but that'll be alright. So, again, the asparagus bed is looking pretty. The asparagus has definitely died back, so it ought to be able to just come off. We'll pull up any weeds we get as we go. Again, this asparagus only went in this year, and didn't do, so it wasn't ready. Actually, it went in last year in the winter time, about this time last year, so I couldn't eat any this year. And I might be able to eat some this year, because when I bought it, I got the autumn ones because basically that was why it was ready for harvesting so quickly. These stems are still quite tough, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly go and get some shears or some pruners so I can cut them back. There they are. Goddamn shed needs a damn good tidy up. Right, so yeah, we'll cut these now. Always seems really bad cutting these asparagus tips like this, because I see it as in many ways wasted food, but necessary because to get the asparagus to grow proper crops in subsequent years. Actually, the asparagus did grow quite well, as you can probably see with the brown stems and everything. How much there is there, it's pretty damn good going. I can go there. Shouldn't really be walking across the bed, but I do from time to time. I think that's one of the advantages of a no-dig method, is that walking on the bed can be less of a problem from my research. Right, let's get that label in there. Now, if you're interested, this variety was called Arlane. Most of that lot there. This one down the end here was a pot one I grew, Pacific 2000 there, and that was only because it was cheap in the garden centre. £3 that plant cost me, so I bought that. Get rid of more of these weeds, get it looking better for next year. Which I'm really looking forward to. Again, another growing year. I've kind of got a better idea what's going on in the plots now. Everyone's help has been really, really appreciated. So it should be a much better growing year for me anyway. I'm certainly hoping that. Let's get this all up and done. Of these. I have to say, this bed has actually been pretty easy to look after. It's not been that many weeds in it. Again, I think thanks because I've been doing this no-dig method. And I just filled it all up, dug it out, filled it all up with horse manure and compost before planting. And also the plants are grown before the weeds and blocked out a lot of these weeds. So overall, yeah, really pleased with it. Then over the next few weeks I'll be covering this in another layer of compost just to help it along. Whoop, nearly fell over there. Okay, so that's that tidied up. Now, what I want to do, I've got a couple of pots here that have been grown at home for years, but they've never really done anything in the pots. So I've decided I'm going to get them in here. This is another F1 Arlane, so we'll put that about here. Goddamn trousers. If I can find a belt that actually worked for me, I would wear it. So let's dig a hole out. Yeah, some weed. We'll get this one planted. There we go. Move that out of your way. Let's just get rid of some of this crap as well. Don't want it on there. Go out a bit more of this. Right, and I've got one more pot. I've got to pull my trousers up again. God damn it. It's another couch grass bloody root. Bloody stuff. Right. So, this next pot, different variety. Again, it was another one that I bought a pot plant from a garden centre. This was very cheap, £2. Another gingham, so that can go in there. Oh, right, there we go. We'll throw that in around there. Lovely, and that ought to keep me there we go. That's the asparagus done. Put that label back in there. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to head on home now and well, once I packed all this stuff away, but I'm going to pack away and head on home. So I will see you all again shortly. Okay, well, welcome back. Yeah, as you see, I tidied the rhubarb and asparagus bed. Just got that a little bit better. Got those asparagus. There were pots I had out here. They've been growing in the pots for a while and they never really done anything. So I decided it was time to get rid of it. Get it down here a lot more. They'll grow a lot better. Okay, so as mentioned about some comments. I did write a list of these comments and I've left it indoors, so I'm going to do this from memory. So if I get anybody's names wrong or anything, I do apologise. Let's go back. I can't remember who it was now, but somebody asked about the yucca. What I harvested a few weeks ago, and on that video, he asked, do I eat the big ones, replant the smaller ones, and so on and so on. Well, what I do is I left some of the smaller ones in the soil that I mean, you probably never get them all out, but I just left some of the smaller ones there. The really big ones out of a lot I harvested will be replanted again. I'll actually get those in some compost in here or somewhere. January, February time, I would imagine. But the rest I will eat. Trying to find a decent meal out of them is a bit of a challenge, but they do exist somewhere along the line. Anyway, less on that. Yeah, and the ones I left in the soil, I've given them a good coating with horse manure to try and protect them. I don't know if it's good, but we'll see. I've grown them for a couple of years, and but I moved gardens in that time, so it's difficult to really judge. But that's what I've done, and we'll see how it goes. Brian, he commented on the Brussels sprouts. He actually gave me some good advice with the sprouts. He just said they're a bit windswept, and he would lift them up when again, this came back a few weeks ago. But he actually said in September it's worth cutting the tops off the sprouts, so you get bigger sprouts. So cutting the leaf off the top, and meant to get bigger sprouts. He said cut them off in September. I'm going to try that next year, and we'll see what happens. You know, it's going to be an experiment, shall we say? So yeah, that'll be interesting. And then after that, Gaynor, she's made quite a few comments over the last few weeks with the tubers and things. The couple she mentioned was about the yacon. When I dug up the yacon, I left some of the small ones, small tubers, in the soil, and again, like I did with yucca, I've just coated it with horse manure, which is what I read some people do. But Gaynor's obviously grown yacon a lot more than what I have, and she actually said they actually grow from the growing tips, not so much the tubers. And she saves the growing tips, summer dry and damp, top of garage, I think she said, until February when she plants them in protection and grows them on. So yeah, what I done on that isn't really correct. So yeah, I bow down to your superior knowledge there. But thank you very much for that, Gaynor. I will bear that in mind for the future. She also commented on the sweet potatoes, how to grow slips, which is something I've been trying to find. I just couldn't get my head around how to grow them from slips. So she's given me some instructions on that, which I'll be following in February and trying to do that. So again, thank you very much for that, Gaynor. I really appreciate that sort of information. I always say I'm trying to learn a lot about the vegetable growing world. And any information and things like that I really appreciate. And last comment, Graham, he quite often comments, so thanks mate for your comment. He left some really good, made me feel really good message last week. He basically said YouTube is great, and I have to agree, YouTube is great. I watch it a lot. I learn a lot from it, which is what he said as well. He mentioned that he watches mine and Castle Hill Gardens, and he's been learning a lot from it, even though he's been gardening for years. Which, I love feedback like that. It's really helps me grow this channel on, and I document what I'm doing, so it's all documented. I said back in April I lost my grandfather, and he was always a very keen vegetable gardener. In fact, when he was a child, outbreak of the World War II, he was teaching all the students in his class how to grow vegetables. So I kind of wish before he passed away I'd learned a bit more from him. So that's why I've really been working on documenting everything I've been doing, so it's always there and I can go back and learn from it. So yeah, that sort of comment from Graham, really appreciate that. I'm sure everyone does when you get documents like that. Okay, so that's it for this week. As I say, next week be a video on how I've done some maintenance on my garden tools. Jobs are slowing down at the moment in both the garden and at the allotment. I'm still doing things, but it's just general maintenance and trying to keep on top of things and get ready for the new growing year, which 2017 I'm excited about. So yeah, okay, so if you're interested, please go visit my blog. That's veggrowerpodcast.co.uk. There's a weekly audio podcast I release every Monday, record and release every Monday if anybody's interested in that. I put some recipes up that I do because I'm quite a passionate cooker. I enjoy my cooking, I should say. So I put a few recipes and things like that up on there. If anybody's interested, go along and let me know what you think. Okay, so I'll speak to you again next week.